fans are already done.
Oh, yeah. That was upsetting. It's such a shame. They create, like, such incredible games, but there's undeniable issues.
Loading is the worst.
Yeah.
Like, big loads. The Division that does it very well.
Yeah, it really does. Like,
You cop your big early one, and then never again, really, until you go into the Dark Zone. And even then...
It's seconds.
Or if you change servers, like, you join a party. But even then, it's pretty quick.
Have you noticed, in the Dark Zone, when stuff's going on, it'll just shift servers? Like, seamlessly. Like, it'll pop up down the corner, like, saying, like, maybe the settings aren't right, and it'll just shift servers.
I haven't seen that, no.
It's pretty cool. I saw it this morning. And just like repopulates it with another 24 people, and if
cool.
you're in a party, they come along with you.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that would be egregious if they didn't.
You just lose them. But yeah, it's seamless. Like you're just running down the street, and it's just happening in the background.
Cool.
There's some magic going on in that game. Like
it's so big.
It's so big, and it just like tracks where all your items are.
Someone had suggested I think we kind of mentioned it on here once, but like just Empire State Building, and you got to just work your way to the top.
I thought you suggested that.
I did, but then I saw someone else suggest it on Reddit, on the Division subreddit, and I was like, it would be really fun.
It would be cool.
Some like 80 floors, and you just gotta chip away.
I'd like to see some, I guess, some more diverse Dark Zone stuff, like. I guess the point of it is, like, just the emergent stuff. But I don't know, like, maybe, like... Not King of the Hill. I don't like King of the Hill.
I was kind of hoping they would do something where they would just... There'd be a moment in time and they would cordon off a section of the Dark Zone. And it would just be a free-for-all situation, like...
I think that's coming.
Something along those lines. Maybe not a free-for-all, but there's, like... There's a drop somewhere in that zone, and then it's a fight for the drop.
That'd be cool, actually. And it's like you've got to hold it for a certain amount of time before you can get it.
But you can't leave the zone either with it. You can't just like grab it and bail. You got to stay in the area.
Yeah, and then even then you've got to extract it as well. That'd be really cool.
Oh, that would be vicious. Because then people would be like, all right,
you've got
Gale
it.
Griever's got it. And then they'd find you and they would still hunt you afterwards.
Yeah. I've seen stuff, people have glitched through the walls into areas that people are speculating might
DLC.
be... Oh yeah, but even like DZ 7 and 8.
Oh. Do you reckon they're going to release another... back to the Division, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's all we know.
Everything will just loop back to it. Do you think they will, at some point, release another loot class?
Oh, you mean of weapons? Or
just like...
higher
after
end?
high end, you've got like...
Well, I mean, we haven't...
Unique or something.
We haven't had red items. I mean, we haven't had teal items. Actually, we have.
Teal, yeah.
It's like appearance.
Teal, that's fine.
What about...
But I was just thinking like white. Like...
Well, we've got white. That's like the worst stuff.
That's grey, actually. But that's
wow.
Black weapons.
You're sort of a stickler, aren't you?
Black. Platinum.
Maybe
black.
platinum, yeah. Maybe platinum.
Well, platinum, again, it's just kind of grey.
It's kind of grey. What about silver?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think silver would be really chill.
It's actually more grey. Yeah, I think that's got to happen, right?
Because I feel like it's almost like... I'm just basing this off my experience with Destiny when it was just so hard to get weapons with a light level.
Yep.
Like, at least when I first did, I was like, this is fucked. But I feel like it's almost too easy to be getting high-end gear in the Division.
It's not for me. I want more. I've only managed to get like 3 pieces.
But I just mean in this amount of time, I've gotten 3 times as much high-end gear as I did in the same time in Destiny, like the equivalent time, you know?
This is how...
And I feel like at some point, what are you going to do when you're just fully stocked in high-end gear? Like,
then I'll stop playing until there's new content. But I'll be ready for it.
Yeah,
I'll be ready.
That's true.
This is how disgusting I am, Govinda. Remember last week, I didn't like the pecan? The golden light machine gun? No, but I'm going to. Because now I need another yellow weapon. Because my secondary weapon isn't cutting it anymore. So regardless of what it looks like, I just need it.
You just need to chuck a really good grip on it.
Already have.
Like
you mean on the pecan?
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh,
I think you can only modify...
It was just a bit wild when I was watching you use it.
It was, actually.
Like
but
a little just too wild.
It's just undeniably does so much damage. And it's got like bonuses to armor piercing and named and elite enemies.
Gold though, dude.
You're so like gold. And I'm just going to have to fucking cop it. I'm sorry. Like it's... The alternative is that golden double-barreled shotgun.
Nah.
Yeah,
I can't do a double barrel. I need that at least 6 in the chamber situation.
It does have, I think, a 20% chance of refilling itself.
Oh, instant. That's pretty solid.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm
literally 10 Phoenix credits away from the Liberator blueprints.
Oh.
And that's what I'm working towards.
Actually, maybe I do just hold out to that. I got to have a couple of Phoenix.
Because I'm just going to go do one daily when I get onto it tomorrow.
What about effortlessly we just start talking about it?
I'm just going to do one daily, get them 10 creds, and buy myself a Liberator. And I should have enough high-end parts to do it.
I'm going to play so much Division this afternoon. Moving right along. Let's see if I can turn this around to talking about the Division. In a recent Game Informer podcast, voice actor David Hayter opened up about what he calls the Metal Gear Solid 5 debacle and the events that transpired between him and Konami, revealing that this wasn't the first time the developer wanted to replace him. Apparently, he had to re-audition for his role in Metal Gear Solid 3 as well, in which he succeeded because the studio couldn't find any other suitable candidates. As for how Hayter found out that he will not be returning for a role in Metal Gear Solid 5, it was literally over a drink or two. He said that he ran into one of the game's producers. The two shared a drink. He asked about the game, and he was told that he wasn't needed. Elsewhere in the podcast, Hayter said that he has no plans to play Metal Gear Solid 5 because it's akin to, quote, 60 hours of humiliation, end quote. Now that Hideo Kojima and Konami have split, Hayter was asked if he has any plans to team up with Kojima again, and going by his response, it doesn't seem likely. He said that he has, quote, no particular love, end quote, for Kojima, and doesn't feel the need to work with him again. Govinda, would you like some sour grapes?
Yeah. I'd rather than be sweet. But...
Maybe like some bitter coffee, dude.
No. That's burnt, mate. Not
what
bitter.
About some bitter coffee and some sour grapes?
Could I suck on a lemon?
I feel like... How attached are you to David Hayter?
I honestly don't give a shit.
I guess I'm just not that big a Metal Gear fan. I love 5.
But I watched people play Metal Gear 1 on PS1.
I finised 1 and I really did like 5.
I didn't ever see 2. I saw bits of 3.
You played 4.
I played 4. Played a little bit of Peace Walker, but I'm not... Honestly, I never played them for the story.
See, I think the first one's the only one that has a really cool story, and even then it's kind of garbage.
So I don't really... It never even bothered me that he wasn't in. I know it was a big uproar when they said it was going to be old Kiefer.
Old Wiz Khalifa, actually, himself.
Wiz Khalifa was going to be the voice of Snake, and I was like, okay, it's a different direction.
It's really interesting.
I never cared, and he speaks so infrequently in Metal Gear Solid 5 that it's almost a non-issue.
Do you think that's because of the new actor? Maybe they didn't write as much dialogue to hide the fact, potentially, that there was a new voice?
They announced it. It was an announcement that
it was a big deal.
Kiefer Sutherland was the voice, or maybe it was in a trailer and someone picked up on it, or in...
Oh, it was Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes, and people
he wasn't credited.
Yeah, Kiefer was credited, and they were like, what the fuck?
Kiefer. I like saying it. Kiefer.
So I don't know if that's why he doesn't speak much. I also think it's because that game's story is also almost a non-issue.
Yeah, again, we've spoken about it so many times, but I want to know the story. What happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, that game is meant to be bigger.
It's one of those,
You don't have 2 chapters in the game. You just don't.
You just don't have 2 chapters. It's very bizarre.
I think it's a minimum of 3, at least.
It's classic story structure, right, Govinda? You should know about that.
That's actually a 3-act structure, and not a 3-chapter structure. Chapters are a book thing.
I'm sorry.
Actually, you should know about that.
I'm quite familiar with books.
Have you ever read a book that only had 2 chapters?
Negative.
Because it doesn't exist, because it's dumb.
I'm going to write one.
Oh, that'd be chill. It's almost like a 1-act play.
Be more of a novella.
1-act plays are weird. I don't get it. You
just don't do it.
Which act do you do?
Just don't. The resolution.
The final act.
That's really awkward. Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep an eye on this.
We won't really, probably, just because...
Yeah, you know what? Hayter, I feel like... How does, a voice actor move on from something like this?
He does sound like a bit of a baby. I'm not going to play it because it's essentially 50 hours of humiliation. You're like, well, actually, he only speaks for maybe 30 minutes combined.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
I guess, yeah, like, for him, he's been in all the other mainline games, hasn't he?
I think so,
yeah. So, I don't know. I could see that being, like, a bit painful.
Yeah, I guess so.
But again, you got to be...
It's the industry you're in, mate.
Yeah, you just got to move on.
Got to roll with the punches.
He'll find something else.
Maybe. Or maybe he'll just not.
How do you think... no particular love for Kojima.
That doesn't sound like anything, really. It doesn't sound like a hate. It just is like...
You never hear about that, like the third side? Like,
we just worked together and we did the thing and that was it.
Like, everyone's like, Konami's such a shit... They're bad people. But what if, like, Kojima's also bad and you're just, like, someone that works there and you're like, I hate both of you. Konami,
yeah, maybe Kojima really was just like a diva.
Like Rihanna.
Yeah, like Rihanna. No, more like a Prince. Or like the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah, like the artist formerly known as Prince's gaming counterpart.
Yeah.
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 BioWare's head of design and art, Alistair McNally, has said in a tweet that he recently played Mass Effect Andromeda. The game's in a playable state, Govinda. And the studio's undisclosed new
Delayed.
Excuse me?
Delayed. And
the studio's undisclosed new IP, both of which look stunning. Follow me here, Govinda, because this is a bit of a walk, but it's very interesting.
I'm not looking at you or paying attention, but I'm definitely following.
In the same tweet, he made a remark about wearing a plain t-shirt, which, for those who don't know, is a reference to his appearance at GDC 2016 last week, which has people scrambling to find a photo of him from the event. In a nutshell, McNally wore a t-shirt displaying BioWare's new IP to GDC, but no one noticed. When he finally revealed that on Twitter, people understandably have tried to look for pictures of him, but no one has managed to find one. Sneaky. So this guy has wore a t-shirt displaying what...
the new IP is for BioWare.
Yeah. And no one cared, I guess, at the time. Or
just no one picked up on it.
Yeah, no one caught it. And so, yeah, now he's worn a plain shirt, and he's like, well...
You had your chance.
That's right. It's actually really cool.
It would have been cooler if there was a picture, but it was just like him deep in a background of a photo, and you can't even make it out.
People would be furious.
I wonder what they're doing.
I'd love to see, so they've got Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Maybe something in the middle, like...
What if?
More like The Division.
Bear with me. Is it time to revisit the Old Republic?
That'd be amazing. They're
like,
really good games.
Because Star Wars is making a pretty solid push.
Yeah.
And maybe this is why no one notices, because they just thought it was an Old Republic show.
Do you mean Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, not the MMO. I mean, the very similar to Dragon Age Star Wars game.
I wonder, because the first one was like a huge hit. The second had like a cult following. I personally didn't like it. There was a lot of drama behind the scenes, and it felt very bare bones to me.
Is it strange to you that like I don't want a game as dense as Dragon Age Inquisition?
I'd take it in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, it's just too deep. Too much. I don't have the time for that.
Yeah, Dragon Age was like the start of the big...
Like when one mission's taken me 2 hours and then I fail and have to do it again. Like that's literally why I stopped playing Inquisition.
You and I have both grossly overinflated it. That mission is not 2 hours long.
Was for me.
Not even slightly.
Was for me.
I don't know what you were doing.
I timed it. I did it twice.
I don't know what you were doing.
And then that boss comes up and there's no health anywhere.
Yeah.
And I have no health, but I'm fighting a boss. And I wanted to just go back and just agree to something just so I didn't have to fight the boss.
I watched my roommate replay it because he got through the game and played it again. He did it in maybe 20 minutes.
Okay. It didn't take me that long.
If you know where... people are, because you got to like find those
informants. That's probably why, but I was just like, you had to go eavesdrop on conversations and you had to go through, and then you had to go like find your armor, and then you had to
do some shit,
talk to people, and then there's all these cutscenes you can't skip because you got to make decisions in them.
I like Dragon Age.
It was great. Origins was my Dragon Age of choice.
Yep.
Dragon Age 2 was a little bit just like
I didn't like it.
Rushed out. Like I finished it and almost finished it twice, but I just I was a mage, and I can only watch that mage do that one animation so many times. And that amount of times turned out to be like 4,000, because that's probably how many times I watched it happen. The same little twirl again and again and again.